Welcome to Going On Daily Live. I'm your host, Mike Palmer, and today we have an amazing show lined up for you. Joining me is my co-host for today, the always stunning Becky Turner. Good morning, Becky.
Thanks for the compliment. That's nice.
You're welcome. How are you today?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm fine. Canada's good. Everybody up there doing okay?
The entire country is doing good today. I speak on behalf of all
On
30 million
behalf
of
of all the
us.
Canadians. Well, if you're just tuning in, make sure to follow us on YouTube at Rhode Island Broadcasting. On Facebook, we're at RI Broadcasting. And on Patreon, if you'd like to help support the show, we are RI Broadcasting.
hmm hmm
So, you guys having all the heat up there like we're having down here?
Yeah, we are actually. Are you guys having it too on the east side?
Well, down in Florida, yeah, we had a heat
Southeast?
advisory yesterday between
Oh,
11 and 6. It's like, don't go outside, too hot.
oh my gosh. So you're just supposed to sit in your house. See, and I love the heat. So like they say stay inside 11 to 6. That's like perfect beach weather.
That kind of heat, though, that's just too much.
I mean, our heat isn't like your heat.
And it's in Celsius, so it's deceiving.
That's right. So
What?
you hear in the hundreds, you're like, "Oh my god, it's so hot." I say in the 30s, you're like, "Oh, that's cold."
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, we're nowhere near what you guys are getting, and especially not what the west side of the US is getting.
Yeah, we were talking yesterday before the show. Some guy on a motorcycle died driving through Death Valley or
Yeah.
something
Yeah, I
recently.
have that on my list here. That's crazy.
Oh, well, let's get into it then.
Yeah, let's dive right in. No time for small talk today. Straight to
No
the
time for
content.
small talk. People didn't tune in to listen to us talk back and forth.
Yeah, they don't want to know what's going on with our lives. They want to know what's
Right,
going
why
on
would
in
they
the
want to know
lives of
that?
Americans. Yeah, so there is record-breaking heat happening. Originally, I started this topic with Vegas heat. Again, I did a
Right,
whole series on Vegas.
certainly.
It seemed relevant to me, but as I was looking, I saw that Vegas wasn't even the hottest place. Like there was records in
No,
Vegas,
right, yeah, there's
but it
hotter
was
places
not.
in Vegas, right?
Yeah. So over the July 4th weekend, there has been record heat across multiple states. So that's things like California, Nevada, Arizona, Oregon, Washington, Idaho. Um, it's absolutely absurd.
The West Coast and the Midwest.
In the Midwest too. Hey, see, and I didn't look at that. I was strictly looking at, Vegas and over.
Right.
But wow, that's crazy. I mean, it's so hard to breathe when it's that hot, right?
It
Like it.
is. It's just uncomfortable because the air you're breathing in is hot too.
Yeah, it is, but it's an interesting heat. In Vegas, it's so dry, and where I
Right.
live,
Yeah,
it's
that's what they
dry
say.
as
It's okay.
well.
It's a dry heat.
Well, a dry heat is almost deceiving because you think you can be out in it longer because
Right.
you're not, like when you're in a humid heat, you're like it's like a sauna. You just
Right.
wanna
Yeah.
get out of
It's
it,
more
right?
uncomfortable.
It is very uncomfortable, and I grew up in Ontario, which is, let's say, like, above New York-ish area,
Okay.
and, yeah, very humid there because of all the Great Lakes, and it was gross, and then when we moved to Alberta, again above Montana, very, very dry heat. We
That's
don't
like
have
from
a
one
lot of.
side to the other.
Yeah, cross country.
Wow. Quite
Yeah,
the
we
move.
drove through the states and everything.
Oh, can you not get across Canada that way?
You can, but because of the Great Lakes, you gotta go really north
Oh,
and
really? Up
then
and
down,
around.
so we went into the States and up.
My
Yeah.
Canadian geography is terrible. I'm sorry.
I keep saying I'm gonna do a show on Canadian geography.
You should. You have to have a map behind you, though.
All I have is this
Right. You could be like
closet
our
and
weather.
the
You could
green
be like
screen.
our weather person.
This is Alberta.
Here
Yeah.
in Alberta, it is hot.
Yeah, so currently in Alberta, where I am, yesterday hit 33 degrees, so
Ooh,
in
cold.
Fahrenheit, that's yeah, right, that's like, what, 1 degree? That's
Oh,
91.4 when
oh,
you do
wow.
the conversion, so it's not cold by any
Right.
means,
Wait,
but
wait, real quick. Do you guys do that when you're talking amongst yourselves? Do you go, it's 30 degrees Celsius for the Americans? That would be 91.
no.
No, you just do it for us. We appreciate that, by the way.
Right. Well, I think we've talked about this before. Like, I don't understand Fahrenheit. It doesn't really make sense to me. Like, here, 0 is 0. It's where water freezes. You
Okay,
know,
our water
if
freezes at 32.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. So
But we
32
have
is kind
zero. It's just colder.
of right. But like, why is 0 not the beginning? Zero is like the middle
I don't,
of the scale here.
because
So
when we left England, we thumbed our nose at the metric system and went, "No, we're not doing that."
yeah. So 32. I mean, it's so strange. So
32 sounds good. We're doing that for free.
yeah, 0 is where water freezes, 100 is where water boils. So, you
Oh,
know,
if you say it that way,
somewhere.
it kind of makes sense.
I mean, it really does make sense. So
Right.
when I
Huh.
say 33, it's hotter than frozen and it's
Right.
less hot than boiling. But if
Hmm.
you said to me 32, I'm thinking, man,
33
that's not
sounds
hot.
like comfortable then, because it's sort of it's in the lower half.
Yeah,
If you
that's
go
like
into
your
zero.
winter weather.
No. I mean, even for you guys, if you said if 0 is freezing, 33 would be. You think it would still be cold if 100 is boiling.
Right, but you do not want to be in boiling water weather.
Oh, I guess you're right. Yeah. Okay.
So I actually wrote down that the hottest weather ever recorded was 134 degrees Fahrenheit, which turns out
Okay. So
to
you guys
50.
never reach 100 degrees Celsius. That would be like people dying.
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay. All right.
The
Okay.
hottest that converts to 56 degrees Celsius. So,
Gotcha.
half of 100, just over half, which, yeah, was the hottest temperature ever recorded. And that was in Death Valley, California. And that was in
Right.
1913.
Woo.
Although some people are disputing it, saying that it actually happened in 2021 in Death Valley and it was 130, not 134. So
Oh, well,
at this point, what's 4 degrees Fahrenheit difference?
right. I
Yeah.
guess. Sure.
They're also saying that this was the hottest June ever recorded on Earth.
Global warming. We're all dying anyway. So
We're not allowed to talk politics, Mike.
that's not politics. That's science.
Well, depends on how you look at it. But yeah, the hottest ever. But it's funny because they say that, but like where I live, it was such a cold June. It was not warm at all. So I think it was probably the hottest June ever recorded for many states and maybe even British Columbia, like next to us, but definitely not Alberta where I live.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So anyway, the record temperatures that it got this past week, 120 Fahrenheit in Vegas. For my Canadians, that's 48.88 degrees. That is insanely hot. Palm Springs was 124 degrees Fahrenheit.
Jeez.
That's 51.11 Celsius. And Death Valley, taking the record for the hottest, was 129 degrees, which equals 53.88 degrees Celsius. So
Just miserable.
that is, that is miserable. Like, how does your air conditioner even work at that point?
Well, I don't think there's a lot of air conditioners in Death Valley, probably. Do people? I don't think. Do people live there? I don't think people live in Death Valley.
You tell me.
That's Death Valley. Why would we want to live there?
Is it called Death Valley because it's hot?
And there's a valley.
Okay, well,
It goes down and it's really hot there. Why? Who would want to go? It's a desert, so I mean, I'm sure there's somebody that lives there, but they probably don't have
nomads. Yeah, they probably
live the roaming nomads that we have here in America. It's terrible through Death Valley, like Thunderdome down there.
Well, I don't know. You ever watch stuff about civilizations that live down in the Grand Canyon and things like that?
No, we have people living down inside the Grand Canyon.
Yeah,
I figure there's homeless camps or something like that. I mean,
conspiracy circles. There's a whole thing.
Oh, I forgot about you and your conspiracy. Yes, it's where the aliens are.
I don't know if I believe in aliens, but
that is where Area 51 is. I believe is in around Death Valley.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
I thought it was in New Mexico.
Well, maybe that's part of Death Valley too. I don't know. Americans don't know geography. We don't.
Yeah, that's right. Not even your own.
No, Los Angeles, New York City, Miami. Those are the places we've heard
That's right. You border cities, only anything in the middle.
Yeah, we have nothing in the middle unless you live there. Nobody knows anything.
So you were talking about the biker who passed away.
Yes.
So he was on a bike trip with, well, I'm saying he, I actually don't know. It didn't disclose this person's identity.
Just for the sake of argument, we'll say it was a guy.
I feel like women would not be out.
Yeah, the hair and everything. It's terrible with the dry heat.
Our faces would melt off. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The bad skin and stuff.
Right. So there was 6 people and they were on a bike trip in Death Valley. And one of them was hospitalized and the other one passed away due to.
Wait, there was 6 people? It wasn't just somebody by themselves?
No, there was 6 of them. So 4 of them were treated on site. One of them was taken to Las Vegas hospital. And the other one, I want to say, probably died just right there. And they didn't say why. They said succumb to the heat. I
Heat
would assume
exhaustion.
heat stroke and heat exhaustion. Exactly.
Right.
Dehydration.
Okay, I can buy one idiot driving through there and, he gets overcome. 6 people and nobody thought to bring water?
Surely one of them was like, we should turn back. It's hot.
Yeah, this is really hot, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe not a good idea.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it's exasperated because of the leathers and things that you wear to protect yourself on a
Right.
bike. Yeah.
Right.
You're not letting out a lot of air. And in one of my other topics on ways to stay cool, we will talk about that. But yeah, emergency vehicles actually, or emergency helicopters can't run in over 120 degrees Fahrenheit.
Really? Okay, that I didn't know.
Yeah, so they couldn't transport these people. They must have had to take car ambulance.
Cars, ambulances, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, get the
'cause
Nomad to help for the
that's
right.
yes.
All those
So, yeah.
makeshift cars and stuff that they make,
Courses.
Good morning, Kenneth. Kenneth is with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Ken. But yeah, that's it. Record heat in America. I didn't even look at your side, but you're saying
It's hot here
out
too. Don't worry. It's hot here.
Yeah.
It
Gross.
is hot.
Gross.
All right, Delta had to divert a flight to New York City after passengers were served spoiled food.
You love these kind of topics, hey? People getting food poisoning?
I love food poisoning. Well, I just got back from Lake of the Ozarks, and my wife and I got sick. Me, her, and her sister. We spent 2 days in bed trying to decide who was going to die first. I mean, it was terrible.
No.
At first, we thought it was food poisoning. There was 3 of us. So first we thought it was food poisoning, but then we didn't really eat anything that nobody else ate.
Interesting.
So then I started Googling stuff, found out there was a norovirus outbreak a couple of weeks earlier. But then I'm reading this morning, and the new summer COVID has a symptom that norovirus doesn't have. And we all had that. We got kind of a hoarse, scratchy voice, which we didn't understand. We thought it was food poisoning. Like, why are we all talking like this, for 2 days?
Interesting.
So, yeah, so we might have had the new summer COVID.
I didn't even hear about that yet.
I just read it this morning.
I tend to tune those out.
All right. Well, a Delta flight from Detroit to Amsterdam was diverted to New York's Kennedy Airport on Wednesday after passengers were served spoiled food, airline officials say.
Gross.
The red-eye flight took off from Detroit around 11 p.m. Tuesday and landed in New York City at 4 a.m. after reports that a portion of the main cabin in-flight meal service was spoiled, a Delta spokesperson said in a statement. Emergency medical responders met the flight and treated 12 passengers. The fire department in New York City said it was not clear how many of the flight's 277 passengers ate the spoiled food. Delta said it would investigate. This is not the service Delta is known for, and we sincerely apologize to our customers for this inconvenience and delay in the travels. Now, I did a little more research, and there were 2 food choices on the plane. There was either chicken or pasta, and people that got the people that got the chicken are the ones that got sick. There was black mold on the chicken.
How did it get there?
It was spoiled. So a couple of passengers said there was like little black dots on the chicken, and they thought it was like some weird spice or something. Yeah, pepper or something. But so then when they tasted it, they're like, that's not good. So I guess at least 12 of them ate enough of it to get sick.
But like the flight from Detroit to New York is not very long. Like that would be maybe an hour. So they went up and then had to come down immediately.
Well, yeah. See, they took off at 11. Yeah, and then landed. Right. Yeah, and they landed at 4 a.m. So they must have have to pass it and come back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that
they were
makes
on the way
sense.
to
Probably
Amsterdam.
over
So,
the ocean.
yeah, because there's a certain point I would imagine where it was just, okay, we're too far. We just have to keep going. We're very sorry you're vomiting back there, sir, but it's too far to turn back.
I'm surprised they didn't stop in like Greenland or something.
Well, maybe they weren't that far, but it'd probably be easier for an American flight that said we have sick passengers to land in America than to convince, a different country to go, no, you cannot land here. Oh, no, don't come here, please. No, you very sick.
I'm just thinking about 12 people trying to use 2 bathrooms on an airplane.
Well, if it's an international flight like that, they probably had more bathrooms.
Okay, let's say 5 bathrooms, 6 bathrooms. That's still
okay. So, like when I used to fly to China, there was 4 in the middle, 4 in the back, and then I don't know first class because I didn't fly first class. So we had 8 that we could get to back in steerage where I was sitting.
Well, in this case, there was just 4 people having to hold it while the other 8
Right, exactly,
would safely go.
exactly.
See, that's
Oh,
my nightmare. Getting
that is
diarrhea and
terrible.
not being able to deal with it.
Right, yeah. Me, my wife, and my sister-in-law were all sharing one bathroom, and that was enough trouble. It
Oh,
was.
no.
We had like a Jack and Jill set up, so you look under the door. Oh, the lights on. I can't go in yet.
Ooh, and then after you have to go in when somebody else
I
is just
cleaned up
in.
after myself. I don't know about those two. At that point, I wasn't looking before I had to sit down or anything. But
Oh,
because I figure it's women, I'll try to clean up the best I can.
we appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
So did it last for like a 24-hour thing? Because I know when I had
We
norovirus.
started. I woke up with it on Wednesday. No, Thursday morning. So we all had it Thursday. Me and my sister-in-law were bedridden all day Thursday. My wife tried to muster up because our grandson was there that we just met, and her son was there. So she went out that day with them. And for what she said, she just sort of sat at the restaurant with her head on the table and just felt miserable all day. And
Mhm.
then none of us saw fireworks. We started feeling better on Friday. So that's Thursday. Friday, we started feeling a little bit better. Saturday, we were okay. But still, some of the symptoms are still hanging on, though.
Right. Yeah, I remember having norovirus or Norwalk in, I think, 2010. I was very, very pregnant and I was having to go to a funeral. That's why I remember that specific day.
Right.
And it was just the one day. And like my husband had it the day after or the day before.
Right.
Can't remember, but it was literally 24 hours and then it was gone. But we didn't have respiratory things. It was literally digestive.
Right.
And also you
Well,
felt like
other than
you
our
were hit
voice,
by a
we didn't
bus.
have any. That was the only thing that was weird. I mean, other than that, it was all digestive except our voices were all almost gone.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Well, I'm
But
glad you're feeling better.
thank you. I didn't eat till Sunday.
Yeah. You
So
didn't eat the stinky chicken? That's what Ron
no,
wants
no.
to know.
Luckily on our flight, we were on Allegiant. So if there was food on Allegiant, you had to pay extra. They don't provide any
Mm,
any
mhm.
free services on that airline
Yeah,
at all.
I get that. So I'm actually flying in a couple weeks, and I was talking to a lady at the store yesterday, and she said, "Are you flying on Porter Airlines?" Which I had never flown on. I'd never even heard of it. I think it's out of Toronto.
Right.
And, wine and beer are free,
What?
snacks are free. Yeah.
Is it
I've never
expensive? The flight's expensive?
No, it was dirt cheap. That's why I booked it.
That's so
It was
weird.
like a cheap, I like a Spirit, like that's how
Right.
cheap. Yeah.
Wow, with free food and drinks. Maybe it's old
Free
stuff.
alcohol,
Don't eat it. Maybe it's spoiled.
right?
Look
Well,
at the
I
expiration dates on
I
all the
mean, if
wine and
there
stuff
was
before you
whole
drink it.
I have a question though about black
Sure.
mold. Like,
Okay.
isn't that the kind of stuff you get in your walls and stuff? Like,
Yeah, but I'm sure
green
there's
mold
different
is on
grade.
your food, isn't
It's
it?
different grades of it. It's probably spores or something. But the guy that was doing the interview said I had black mold on my chicken. So
Okay, so he's not
nah,
reputable.
it probably wasn't like officially black mold that they say you get in your house and you breathe it in and you die. Nothing like that.
Yeah, so it was just green mold, probably bluey green mold.
Probably when it's on chicken, everything looks black.
Like, did no one see it though? Like, surely the person cooking it was like, "Yeah, that's off."
Well, airplane food, they don't cook it right before you get it, they microwave it.
Yeah.
And it's got that foil over it. So the waitress, the flight attendant brings it down, peels
Mm,
the foil off, and then puts it down in front of you. She doesn't look.
mhm.
You think
Right.
somebody would have
That's
said something? I
fair.
mean, if I had, I would have went, "Excuse me, where's the button? Ding ding. This would this look good to you?"
I would think that there'd be a quality check prior, but
You
maybe
would
not.
think, huh?
Maybe
But
not.
imagine an airport, it all comes in those carts and they just wheel it in.
I can't even remember the last time I had airport or airplane food.
Well,
Like,
you about to have some free food and drinkies on.
well, I
Did
think
you?
that's just snacks, and that's
Oh,
only a 3-hour flight, but
where are you
I
going?
want Ottawa, our nation's capital,
Oh, is
near
it really?
Toronto.
I had no idea. I don't. Where's it at? What part of America is it above?
Well, it's close to Montreal, which is also Canadian. I
I have
want
heard of
it's
these places. I just don't know where they're at.
let me look. I actually don't know. I think it's above like
Oh, I know where Washington D.C. is. Just so
oh,
you
well,
know.
it's close to there. I've been to Washington, DC back when I lived in Ontario. So it looks like it's above New York State.
Okay,
Nothing really
close enough.
specifically. Syracuse,
Syracuse, New York.
yeah, something like that.
All
Between
right.
Syracuse and Albany, it's like north of that.
Ken just sticks with the peanuts. You know, Ken, on some flights they don't do peanuts anymore because everybody's got peanut allergies.
Yeah, my husband's definitely allergic to peanuts.
Is he really? Oh, no
Yeah.
peanut butter or anything in your house?
Oh, I still have it. For the
You still
first
have it.
little while, I made sure.
Oh, look, it's Ron. Hi, Ron.
Yeah, I'm having some difficulties. I don't know what is actually going on. I'm so sorry. I can't even get off right now.
A little behind the curtain there. This is look at Becky and I are talking now. Because their heads are cut off.
You gotta love it.
Well, just be quiet. We'll just go on.
Yeah, like can
Go
you
ahead.
mute? Because it's all echoey with you on now. Strange.
Oh, that's another problem, I guess.
Yeah,
Right?
the sound's now all messed up, Ron.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, we're good.
Oh, there we go.
Here's Ron. Just steal our thunder today.
Let's see. Shark Week here in America,
Yes.
in the land of the free, in the home of the brave.
Yes.
I tried to watch some of the shows last. Oh, there you go. Danny's gone.
Hey, bye, Ron.
I love live. Whatever we're doing here.
Yeah, right.
But I guess there's a shark connection with cancer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is that like in the movie The Deep Blue Sea, where they were injecting stuff into the sharks' brains to make them smarter to get the fluid for the cancer treatment, and then the sharks got smart and ate everybody?
I want to say yes, but I've not seen it, so I actually have no idea.
You guys know it's like Talking Pictures. If you guys don't have movies up there,
Yeah,
movies?
we do. I swear we do.
Well,
So-
we get all our actors from you guys, so I wasn't sure.
That's true. We
All
have
the
a
good
lot of
actors are from
celebrities.
Canada.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, there is a connection between great white sharks and cancer.
They're great.
Because they're great. That's
They're
right.
great.
So they say that of all the vertebrate animals, so animals that have a spine,
Mhm.
great white sharks are the ones with the lowest levels of mutation between the generations. So
Oh.
they look at that and think, okay, like these are a genetically perfect creature, right?
Right.
And so they figure that because a shark is mainly cartilage,
Okay.
that could have. Oh, is Ron back? I see Ron.
Ron's back, and he's gone again.
What is happening here? It says that, yeah, because they are mostly cartilage, that could be a reason why they supposedly don't get cancer. Now I'm saying supposedly because that's
Right.
thought that they don't.
Yeah, we
get
don't really know. They might. Who
Well,
knows?
no, we don't really know. We don't spend a lot of time one-on-one with sharks, I don't
Right.
think. So they say that sharks have the ability to repair its own DNA, which
Wow.
again, I don't know. I'm not a marine biologist, but that's
Right.
very interesting. I mean, they have lasted many, many years, right? They are
Right. Yeah,
the
they're
top of
very
the
old.
food chain in the
Yep.
water because, obvious reasons. It says that shark DNA is 1.5 times bigger than human DNA, meaning that things are
wow.
coded into these animals that humans just obviously can't do, like repair injuries.
Right.
So scientists believe that because sharks can, do these things with themselves, that researching them can help with wound healing and blood clotting, because sharks are known to recover quickly from injuries.
Oh wow.
From serious injuries too. Yeah.
Cool.
So I looked into, different research that talks about it. There's a lot of claims on the internet that talk about this. And
Sure.
I mean, the internet is the Wild West, really. Like, who knows what you're going to find.
Right. Exactly.
But the Mayo Clinic, which is known for its treatment with cancer, and they've tested shark cartilage as a cure for cancer. And because, they want to know, right?
Sure.
People are doing it regardless. The shark population is going down because a lot of, even in, what is it, China? Like they cut off the fins of the shark for
shark fin soup.
because it believes it has like some healing properties,
right.
or
It doesn't. I've
living
had it.
longer.
It doesn't taste that good.
Oh, really? Have you had it?
Yeah.
You savage. I just watched that.
It was already there. Not like I cut it off myself.
That's fair. I would probably also try it, but I would feel really bad about it.
Sure, I was very upset when I ate it.
Yeah, no, it looks like it. You were really upset. They looked into shark cartilage as a cure for cancer because I said sharks do have more cartilage, which means that they have fewer blood vessels, and blood vessels feed tumors. So that's why
Oh
they
wow.
think, yeah, it makes sense actually.
Sure, it does.
Yeah. And, blood vessels are important for tumor growth, right? You stop the
Right.
blood vessel, you stop the tumor
But
from growing. But sharks do get cancer. So whoever came up with the idea that sharks don't get cancer, it's the internet
yeah, I mean,
being
they would have to be able to test every single shark to be sure that they didn't have some
well,
type of shark cancer.
yeah, exactly.
Maybe
How
they just don't get human cancer,
Yeah, they probably get it very different. I mean, if it has
cancer of the fin or something.
skin cancer, all that time they've spent near
Possibly, yeah, all that time in the sun and in the salt water.
Yeah, right. Well, you think like the water just acts as like a mirror or like a
Oh yeah, a magnifying glass.
yeah, that's right.
Makes sense.
But yeah, they've done multiple studies putting shark cartilage. Oh, sorry, putting shark cartilage to the test, and they found that like with these controlled groups that they had, there was no change whatsoever.
Huh.
So they thought, okay, well maybe we need something a little more potent. So they went to a shark cartilage extract, and they
Right.
do different test subjects, and they found that not only is it not effective, it's just in some cases, like, kinda doing the opposite effect. So,
Oh, really?
well, and not that it is, like, speeding up people's death,
Right.
but in different controlled groups, the people who were on the shark extract had, let's say, 14 weeks that they survived, and these are, like, late stage cancer patients who at this point have nothing to lose,
Oh,
and
okay. So yeah.
the ones given the placebo, lived 15 weeks. So,
Oh, I see.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Hmm.
So it's interesting. So they're trying, different cancer agencies are trying to put a stop to this. Like, when you have cancer, you're desperate, right? Like your wife knows, I
Right. Sure.
know
Yeah, you'll do anything.
you will do anything. It's the reason
Right.
I took that high dose THC and ended up in the hospital. Like you're desperate to try anything if it's going to cure you. And if it's not you losing your hair and becoming super sick and having things like cut out, you'll try it, right?
Sure.
So anything before having to do that. So I think people just have ran with it over the years. The rumor has, and I mean, there's obviously got to be some sort of science behind it because I'm sure someone didn't just go to the internet one day and say like, "Did you know that sharks cure cancer?"
Right.
And
Yeah. Just put it on Wikipedia.
yeah, like there needs to
Right.
be some sort of efficacy behind it, but I don't know what that
Somebody
is.
tested something somewhere.
Yeah, but
Right.
definitely some cancer agencies are saying that this is false and not to try it. And I mean, plus sharks are our friends. We don't want to kill and eat them. At least in
Okay.
Shark
Not
Week.
all of them.
Yeah. Oh, Ron says they cure cancer by eating the cancer victim
Oh,
cheese.
well, it's not like it's contagious, Ron.
Yeah, right. It's not like we smell better in the ocean or something. If anything, they probably wouldn't have wanted anything to do with me with chemo running through my blood.
And then they get super sharks. And those are the ones that eat people in the movies.
Right. Have you been watching Shark Week?
I was gonna watch it last night, and I don't have what's it on Discovery Channel,
Mhm.
National Geographic, or whatever it is. I have to watch it through Cinemax, and it gives you an option to watch everything that they have
Mhm.
out there. It was just
Mhm.
too much, so I went, nah, I'm not watching this. I watched the dragons instead.
Oh, the dragons. Dragon Week.
What is it? Game of Thrones, the new Game of Thrones,
Oh, House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon. That's it. Yeah. So
Right.
I watched an episode of that and was like, well, this is stupid too. So I went to sleep.
I watched the first season, but I got a little turned off after the uncle and the niece. So I stopped watching.
Jon Snow and
No, not Jon Snow. The
oh, well, technically,
Daemon?
wasn't
No.
he the uncle of the blonde lady he killed?
Yes, that was on Game of Thrones. I mean on House of Dragon.
Okay, yeah. That is a
Rhaenyra
little,
and
yeah,
yeah.
that's a little weird. Well, everybody's trying to kill her now, so she might not last.
Oh, good.
Yeah, if she dies, I'll let you know.
Spoiler alert. Anyone
Right.
watching this?
Spoiler alert.
So what do you got next?
All right, there's a new thing out called sleep divorce.
Okay.
When snoring and other issues keep one partner awake, sleeping in separate beds or bedrooms can make all the difference.
I thought about this last night.
Was your husband snoring really loud last night?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was up late. writing down stuff for today's episode. And also on
Right.
Tuesdays is when my podcast comes out. Why did, I recorded it a week ago. Why didn't I edit it and post it prior to that? But no, of course I waited till midnight last night to do it. So I finally am ready to go to bed, and I just hear constant snoring, and I put in earphones or like headphones,
Right.
or earplugs, I guess. It
Right.
did nothing. And I kept like tickling his face. I kept like rubbing his arm. I kept moving him. Nothing was working.
Well,
Yeah.
snoring, body heat, restless legs, and insomnia, different schedules, and yearning for personal space are just some of the reasons why some happy couples choose to sleep apart, whether in separate beds in the same room or in separate rooms altogether. My wife and I bought those one of those Craftmatic adjustable bed things, and then they bring it and set it up, and it turns out we're sleeping in like twin beds that are in a king size frame. Is all it is. So yeah, so there's no cuddling anymore because there's like the Grand Canyon there in the middle.
Right, because one of you is angled up and one of you is flat.
Right, yeah, because somebody's up, the other one's down. So yeah, so I told her, I go, thank you for the twin beds. These are very nice. It's like when I was a child. The arrangements can vary, says Dr. Michael Bruce, a Los Angeles area clinical psychologist who is also known for I lost some space. Also known as the sleep doctor on the Today Show. He knows some couples who sleep separately during the week, but together on the weekends.
I know people like that. Well, I don't know what on the weekends. I think, well, I get what's happening on the weekends.
Right, yeah, that's when you have, time.
That's right.
Right. It may be worth trying it out 3 times a week first to see how it feels, says Dr. Oz advised. Today shows Carson Daly and his wife Siri Daly started sleeping in separate bedrooms while she was pregnant with their 4th child. Did you and your husband try that when you were sick? Did you have sleep problems going through your treatments?
No, I didn't have any sleep problems going through treatment. There were some days where he was getting sick, and I was like, I just don't.
Yeah, you can't deal with that.
Face to face with me because my immune system is non-existent at the time. So there were a few days where I had like horrible headaches, like a few days after chemo, where my headaches were so bad. I was like, can you please just go? Go to another room.
Just go somewhere else.
Yeah, but it sucks because right now, like the room that I'm in, it was our spare bedroom, but I'm turning it into a podcast room. So right now it's in complete disarray. The bed is vertical because it's getting moved out to we have like my in-laws have a cabin, so we're bringing it out there. So that gives up our room. And last night I was thinking, like, what are we doing? This guy's snoring so bad. I just want my sleep. I should be in this room sleeping, but no, our bed is sleeping. So I don't know, it might be some couch sleeps.
My wife and I have had COVID a couple of times. When somebody gets COVID, I go out of the room.
The way I look at it is like we've already been together a whole bunch before even knowing like you had the cold, before the symptoms started, when they say you're supposedly contagious. So at this point, like
my friend Michael Knight from England just popped in.
Oh, Michael Knight from England. Welcome.
Michael Knight from England. Hello, Michael. Nice
cool
to see you,
and
sir.
Sophisticated, Mr. P.
Yes, he's a very nice man.
He's
We
very
should normalize what, darling?
He sounds so proper. Looking sophisticated.
You know when he talks
Mr.
because
P.
he's got an English accent too.
I love it.
It's great. We should normalize separate bedrooms for married couples, she said in December 2023. An online survey of 2,500 adults in the U.S. commissioned by the American Academy of Sleep Medicine in 2023 found more than 1/3 occasionally or consistently sleep in another room to accommodate the bed partner. Before my dad died, my parents had been sleeping in separate rooms for 10 years or so or something. Yeah. My dad says because my mother snored. So
my grandparents on my dad's side did that too. For as long as I can remember, they always had 2 rooms.
Yeah, just I guess after, because my parents were married, I don't know, 60 something years or something. After a while, just like, I just want my space.
And see, my grandparents on my mom's side, my grandpa just passed in this last year, but they definitely shared a bed, and they both snored so bad. Like, I don't know how one of them wasn't like, get out. Like, I guess they both just were super deep sleepers with a lot of snoring.
I guess you get used to it, because I know I snore, and I've offered to, go in the other room or something, and she'll go, no, it's sort of comforting, at a time. When you're not, I think there's something wrong.
It's like a nice white noise for her.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That's sweet. No, I don't feel that way. I'm like looking at my pillow and I'm like,
How can I make this look like an accident?
my sleep is so much more important right now. You know, for years though, I thought, man, my husband doesn't snore. Everyone always complains about how he snores, his brother, like any of his buddies when he's
Right.
gone away with. And I thought, no, he doesn't really. But as it turns out, I just fall asleep before him. And
Right.
so I don't hear it. But now that I've been staying up later and my
Going
sleep
to bed
schedule is
after
a
him.
little wonky, oh my
Right.
gosh, it's terrible. Terrible. But the thing is, he can't breathe through his nose. He always breathes through his mouth.
Right.
And so I think it's just gets super clogged. And before we were able to just kind of turn him to his side and it'd be a little better. But now, no, nothing helps.
My wife's a mouth breather when she sleeps, and she gets this dry palate, and it
Yeah.
clicks. And
Oh,
it's real annoying. It's like a tick almost.
like,
Just yeah, when she breathes and dry. I recorded it one night to play it for my friend who's a doctor. And like, I got it. Something's got to stop. This is driving
Mhm.
me crazy. Because if I
Mhm.
wake up and I hear it, because everything else is silent, I just can't go back to sleep.
Mhm.
It just drives me crazy. But you're right. You want to just take the pillow and.
Mhm.
So I usually poke her and go, swallow, swallow.
Well, yeah, I quite often will move him and be like, can you go to your side? And then he's annoyed. Like, oh,
Right.
why'd
Oh,
you
I
wake
was
me?
sleeping.
I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt a deep sleep while I'm
So sorry
lying
to
here.
interrupt your
Like,
snoring.
yeah, I'm lying here like, I will kill this guy, like twitching. Like, you know, they say that mouth breathing while you sleep is actually really hard on your body. I'm actually going to do that on an episode, I think. Mouth taping. Do you know about mouth taping?
No, what is mouth
Tape.
taping?
Oh, you literally tape your mouth. I will explain it in
Oh
a
wait, I
different.
have heard of it, but why? Oh, come on, me and Rick get off on tangents all the time. Let's talk about
Because
mouth
you're
taping. We
supposed to
we still have 30
breathe.
minutes to kill.
Oh shoot, do we really?
Yeah, well, 20 minutes.
I'll go a little slower. So when you sleep, now you
Yes, Becky.
breathing through your mouth is supposed to be really hard for your jaw. So if you see people that look like they have, sorry, that's like a terrible angle, but like a shorter jaw,
Right,
like a big kind of like almost like they have no neck.
right.
They say that those are mouth breathers,
Oh,
and it just makes your mouth or your jaw recede a little bit. So they say by taping your mouth, you're having to breathe through your nose at night, and it helps with that jaw.
don't suffocate or something, or I mean, if your nose
Nope.
stops up,
I mean, okay, if you physically cannot breathe through your nose, like someone like my husband,
right?
no, like
Would
I
not
don't
be a
think
good
that's
idea.
safe. But I think for majority of the population who can breathe through their nose, but just like for your wife, if she doesn't have any nose breathing issues, she just
Right.
does that in her sleep. Mouth breathing or mouth taping will make it so she has to breathe through her nose.
So I have to convince her now to sleep with tape on her mouth. I don't think
Mhm.
that's
It's not like duct tape or anything. It's more like a gauze type tape, so you can breathe through it
is it
if you
like that
need to.
strapping tape where they like put on your shoulders and stuff?
No, K-tape, no, it's
Not even
thinner.
that
It's
kind.
more
Not even
like
that. Huh?
it's got like holes, like meshy
Is it
almost.
sticky? Is it gonna like rip my
No,
beard off when I take it off in the morning?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe a little bit. It's got to be enough to keep
Mm,
your mouth
I
shut. It's
know.
not bad though. I like you just put it like right here.
Sounds like an S&M thing or something. Yeah, just.
I mean, if you're into that.
Then
I
you can just wear the hood and pull the zipper over.
gross. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely do an episode on
Super
mouth
glue.
taping.
Ron's using super glue. Ron, and then you can never open your mouth again, and you're gonna
Yeah,
be
that's
like the
right.
original Deadpool.
Listen, if somebody is suggesting to you in the bedroom, let's super glue your mouth, that's not a sexual thing. They want you to shut up
Yes, exactly. Well, good point.
forever.
Well, they're saying you should discuss the new arrangements before sleeping. Don't just leave the bedroom, I guess is what they're saying.
Okay, that's fair. Like there are days my husband will wake up and I'll be in the spare room and he'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Was I snoring or were you mad at me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I just couldn't sleep."
Right. Schedule extra together time before
Mhm.
heading to separate beds.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, that's nice. Except, what if do you have to ask them to leave though? Like, okay, we cuddled. Time for you to go now.
The way I look at it is like I'm the one who's leaving. He's already
That's what I'm
asleep.
thinking too. At some point, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go now. I'm fine. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I can fall asleep anywhere. So to me, it's no big deal as long as it's quiet. Although the thought of sleeping on my couch is, I don't know, it's creepy. Like a big open black room on my living room.
It is a little
I don't
bit.
like that.
We're pretty sure our house is haunted.
No.
Yeah, yeah. Do you do conspiracy and hauntings? Does that go together? Are you in?
Well, I believe in like demons and stuff. So
Oh yeah. Well, the house we live in now, the master's on one side, and then on the other side are 3 bedrooms and a hallway and a bathroom.
Mhm.
So when we moved in, the people that had the house before us had turned one of the bedroom doorknobs around so they could lock somebody in the room. So
Okay,
the
they
lock
might
was
have
on
had
the
young
outside.
kids. Okay, I understand if they had a small child who would get out of their room 1,000 times.
Well, that turns out what it was. The neighbors would tell us they had some type of either autistic or a kid on the spectrum or someone with some
Mhm.
type of mental disability, and they would lock it was a little girl. They would lock the little girl in the bedroom.
It's probably helpful for her mental health and self-esteem.
Yeah, I'm sure. But sometimes it feels like there's somebody down there, and like the dogs will sit in the living
Ugh.
room and stare down the hall.
No.
Yeah, yeah. And then if you're like watching TV, you can sort of see out of the corner of your eye. And I swear, more than once, I've seen somebody go like from one room to the other room.
Oh, no. Mm-mm. Rebuke. Absolutely not.
And then wait, it gets worse. And then there was an app that everybody was doing for a while on your phone where you took pictures of stuff and it made some type of, made like your house look like it was like a castle or something like that.
Mm.
So they said if you shoot it somewhere and there's a ghost, somebody shows up in the picture. So
No.
3 times in a row, I did the hallway and a little girl showed up in the picture.
No. No. Yuck. I
So
would
I
burn
don't
that
like
house
going
down.
down there at night because
No.
it's a not a long walk, but it's a dark walk down. So I'm flipping,
Mm-mm.
from my room to that room, I got to flip the kitchen light on, the living room light on, the hallway light on. Like I'm coming down that side of the house.
So needless to say, you're not sleeping in those spare rooms when your wife is
No,
snoring.
I don't go down that. No. But from the couch, if you lay with your head on the certain end of the couch, when you open your eyes, you can see right down the hall. And I'm always afraid, I'm gonna wake up and see somebody standing down there in the middle of the night or something. So
No.
yeah,
I have friends who have seen stuff.
yeah,
Call it ghosts, call it demons. I don't know.
sure,
But my friends have definitely seen stuff. And I'm like, no, I cannot handle that. I don't
right.
ever want to see that. I've been lucky enough to not. Well, there was one time I woke up in the night and there was a feeling, but like,
Right. Yeah, I get that kind of stuff all the time. I'm very observant, so I think I see things sometimes that other people don't see out of the corner of my eye or
no,
right off the edge of my field of vision or something.
yucky. No, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I hate ghost stories. I hate them. I'm
Oh, well,
fascinated by like haunted places, but I would never go there. I like to read about it, and that's where it ends.
we'll do a show next week on ghost stories.
Yeah, that'd
The
be
most
cool.
haunted places in Canada.
Well, there's lots where I am. So just an aside, because this has nothing to do with snore divorce here. But there was this old hospital, and I can't remember, was it for polio or some sort of disease in the early 1900s? But they had a lot of like native people
Right.
uh, that would stay there. And I mean, obviously, the treatment of native people in the early or parts of our life were
Sure.
not great. They were
Right.
viewed
Right.
as
Yeah.
less
We
than.
were not kind to them.
We were not kind to them, and so same thing with this hospital. And yeah, they say it was very, very haunted, and you
Oh.
would just feel icky like driving past it, and people
Oh wow.
would sneak in at night. It laid abandoned for years and years, and it was just like right in the middle of the city, and
Oh
people would
wow. Right in the
sneak
middle.
in. Oh yeah, right in the middle. Like my friend lived right down the street from it. It was just like randomly in the middle,
Right.
and for years it laid empty, and now they've made condos out of it, and I
Oh my
thought,
lord.
who is buying these
Yeah.
condos?
Who's living in that?
Like, did they go in with an exorcist and just clear it all, because it
Clear
was
the
a
place. Be
massive
gone,
building.
demons. Be gone.
It was like a 15-story building. Like, who, I don't know. No, thank you. Absolutely not. Tear it to the ground and burn it and bring all the pastors. Like, there's no way I would even go near that.
All right, finally on the sleep divorce to end it, you're supposed to express your appreciation to your partner when they do leave the room. Thank you
Oh,
very much for leaving, and I had a good sleep. Thank you.
oh, okay. Nothing like positive encouragement, right? Like
Right, sure. Make them
conditioning
feel good
them.
about it.
Oh,
All
okay.
right,
Well,
so we,
I
we
like
we've
that.
gotten hot. We've cured. No, we have not cured cancer with sharks. We've had bad chicken, and now you're gonna tell us how to cool off.
Yeah, I figured in light of everything with this temperature
Right?
outbreak, that's what I'm calling it, the temperature outbreak.
Temperature outbreak. Temperature outbreak going on daily.
Yeah. Don't go on your motorcycle. That's step number 1.
Right. Yeah. Don't. Yeah. I never wore all that leather stuff when I rode a bike.
Oh, no?
In the wintertime, but not in the summer. It's too hot here.
Just barebacked it?
Tank top. I always wear pants because you burn your calves on the exhaust pipes and stuff. But
Yeah, right.
jeans and a tank top, though.
That's the concern, burning it on the exhaust pipe. What about when you fly off and lose all your skin?
I didn't have a helmet on, so it would end quickly.
Oh, my word.
No helmet laws in Florida.
My cousin's boyfriend, yeah, they live in South Carolina, and he doesn't wear a helmet either. But as soon as they go into North Carolina, you need a helmet. So when they go on bike trips and they cross border, they're like, oh, crap.
Right.
No
you gotta
helmet.
pull it out and blah, blah, blah.
Interesting. Okay, so best ways to stay cool in this heat. Step 1, plan ahead. So that means things like check the weather, adjust your schedule, take more
Don't
breaks.
ride through Death Valley.
Yeah, that's right. If it's going to be 100 and whatever, 20 degrees, don't go out. Don't go on sightseeing trips. Take more breaks to rest and hydrate. So plan ahead. That seems easy. But
Sure.
I mean, we don't. How many times have I gone out where I'm like, man, I had no idea it was hot out, or I had no idea it was cold out. You know, even as a young mom, like my mom would give me crap all the time. Like, why aren't your kids dressed appropriately? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't check the weather.
Right.
She's like, you know,
they can pick out their own clothes. They're fine.
Yeah, they're babies. They can figure it out. No.
Sure. They have more than one outfit. They didn't say anything.
Yeah, exactly. They can't talk, but like
they can point and grunt.
Yeah. So plan ahead. That's obviously your first line of defense here to fight the heat. Dressing for the heat. So avoid things like waterproof fabrics, probably leathers.
Right.
And it also said avoid cotton, which I thought was interesting.
Avoid cotton?
Yeah, because it says that unless you're changing your clothing often,
right?
Like once it gets full of sweat, it now acts as a barrier, and then heat can't be released.
Oh yeah, because it gets heavy. Yeah, it's like if you like a wet T-shirt.
I figured cotton was the best type of fabric, but no,
that new space age non-wicking stuff.
Yeah, it says like if you can have non-wicking
mesh. Captain Ron wears mesh clothing.
Perfect. I'm actually you can't.
I'm gonna have nightmares, Ron. Just
my
so you
pants are mesh. If you can see that, they're see-through.
Put your pants back on, woman. It's not that kind of show.
It was just my pant leg. I'm just flexing.
Yeah, whatever.
It says
you and Rick. We're all gonna get canceled. Rick in his dirty mouth, and now you're flashing people.
Oh, I have a dirty mouth too. I'm just choosing to be good on this show. It says choose looser and lightweight fabric or things with a wider woven like this. Right. Wider woven pattern.
The pants.
So keep your home cool. That seems sometimes tougher because even with air conditioning, like I'm baking most days, and not everyone has air conditioning. I know growing up, like my parents still don't have air conditioning. It's the same house we lived in for 30 years. They just got an air conditioner for their bedroom a couple weeks ago, but it's not in their house. And I remember their house was so hot.
How do you survive today without? I mean, it's going to be 48 degrees or something there today, you said. So.
Not in Canada.
Oh, not degrees. Sorry. 48. Is it not? It's degrees.
33 Celsius.
33 Celsius.
Which is
today.
hot. It
ridiculous.
Is hot. Yeah. What did I say that was? 33, 91. So 91. It's not. Yeah, that's warm. I don't know. I think because there's only like periodic days of that, or
not a lot of it.
It might be like a week of that, and then you'll get like a lot of rain or whatever. So you don't consistently need air conditioning. But now that I've lived in a house for 6 years that has it, I could never go back.
Sure, right, yeah.
I could never go back. So I mean, if you don't have AC, like go to a basement, like sleep in the basement if you have one.
Florida doesn't have basements.
Oh, they don't?
No, the water table's too high.
Oh, interesting.
Some places you can't even put a pool in. You can't dig down past, 4 to 5 feet and you hit water.
Really?
We're just one big beach here. It's all it is.
One big swamp. Yeah.
One big swamp. Is air conditioning not a common thing in Canada? Everybody doesn't have it?
None of my friends have it. Like we have it. Actually, I think one of my friends, she rents a place. Her house has it. But yeah, no, it's not like something that's automatically put in. Yeah, no.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
New home construction in America always has air conditioning.
Yeah, I mean, I think consistently America is hotter than Canada. Like,
Well,
obviously, we have
we're
our hot
further
places.
we're further
Yeah,
south, so
you're
yeah.
closer to the equator, so
Do
obviously.
you guys do ceiling fans? Do you guys have those?
Yeah, I don't have any in my house, but
How
like
can you
my
not have
house.
how do you sleep without a ceiling fan?
I don't know.
Do you
I
have
have
fans?
Yeah, of course. My husband sleeps with a fan on just because he likes the white noise.
Yeah, well, in our bedroom we have a ceiling fan, we have a pedestal fan, then I have a little fan next to the bed. That one's just for the
Oh.
noise. I can't feel that one at all.
And plus air conditioning.
Plus air conditioning.
So your
My wife
energy
gets
bill
terrible
is
hot
high.
flashes. She has all her
Yeah.
parts have been removed. She has hormone
Sure.
problems and all that
I
stuff.
get this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have that. I mean, like,
Wow, it's so
that's
weird.
just me specifically, like
Right,
other
right,
people, obviously.
Yeah, there's probably not a house in Florida that does not have at least one ceiling fan. We've got them in every room here.
Yeah, my house growing up had one in every room, like
Oh.
kitchen, and then all three.
Well,
all
not in the
four
kitchen.
bedrooms.
It just cools the food off. That's just silly.
Oh yeah, no, I think my parents must have installed it after, but again, no air conditioning.
Yeah, I mean, you can put one in a light fixture. They're easy to
Yes,
put up.
that's
Yeah,
what they
right.
did. Yeah. So other things it says is like keep your hot appliances off. Obviously,
Oh.
it's going to heat up your house if you're cooking with your oven. Like if you have an air fryer, use your air fryer. And cover your windows because you do not want to have the heat coming in. So things like that. If they have a balcony, if you don't have a basement and you have a balcony, go out there, I guess.
So weird.
Yeah. So another step is to stay hydrated.
Right,
There's
water,
2
H2O.
liters for women, 3 liters for men is what you normally need. I'm surprised that it's different. I've never heard that before. So obviously during this heat, you are going to want to increase that, probably double that.
Right.
When your urine is dark and you're not peeing often, you're probably dehydrated. So add more.
Oh, really? Is that what that means?
Yes, of course. Don't hydrate with beer and coffee is what this article said, specifically beer and coffee.
Oh,
And
okay.
and maybe add electrolytes to your body, like as you're
Instead of
sweating a
drinking
ton,
that
you're
coffee.
depleting your electrolytes. Yeah.
Dang it! What? Dang it!
Dang nabbit.
Dag nabbit. Ah, gotcha.
Dag nabbit, not dang nabbit. Another step is to take breaks from the heat. Like, especially if you work outside, 10 minutes in the shade is not doing it, right? You're going to need several hours. So I would say that a lot of businesses probably cut work when it gets this hot because how can you? I noticed in Vegas, nobody was doing construction during the day. All the construction was happening at nighttime. And that makes sense.
Oh, that makes sense. It's not as hot then.
Yeah, it's not as hot. And it's busy still, but not maybe as busy. You don't have the same kind of foot traffic.
Traffic problems, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Pedestrians in the way.
Mm-hmm. And did you know that pavement and asphalt are so hot that it actually can increase the outside temperature by 4 degrees because it just like reflects off of it?
Right, reflects the heat back up. Yeah, you can feel it coming off the heat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting. Oh, Ron is saying a 90-degree Fahrenheit rule. So for work, so if it's above 90 degrees, you don't work. But I mean, like if it's 89 or 88, like you can work in that. I don't know. And finally,
okay.
The last step to staying cool is to try to keep your house cool, staying cool at nighttime. So I don't know, like sleeping in the heat is awful. There's nothing worse.
Yeah.
Like laying there and feeling sweaty.
Blacktop absorbs heat, he says.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. I need a blanket to sleep. I can't just lay without one, but then
my wife's like that too. She can't either.
Yeah, I need it for protection from monsters.
Yeah, something from the ghosts. So, she'll go, it's so hot, it's unbearable. I go, well,
from the little girl ghost in your house.
Right, the little girl ghost that lives in my house is terrible. She's very friendly though. She doesn't attack it.
So. Oh well, no, she just wants out of her bedroom. I get that.
Yeah, she just right. That's the word. Yeah, I just went out of your bedroom.
Right. Wow. So did you know that the heat inside your house peaks 4 hours after the heat peak outside? So if
okay, makes sense.
If 4 o'clock is the hottest part of our day here usually.
Right.
So 8, 9, 10 o'clock ish is the peak in your house. So
because your house has absorbed all the heat for the day. Makes complete sense. Oh, I never thought of that. I think if it's hot outside, hot inside, but you're right. No, it stores the heat.
Yeah, that's right. And so when you're going to bed and it's unbearably hot, like that's gross. So it says create a cross breeze in the early evening, opening windows and doors on opposite ends of your house, put a fan in front to try and pull the air in, cold shower or a damp towel around your neck before bed to try and cool down, cooling pillows. I don't find that they work, to be honest.
My wife does. She loves it.
Oh, really? I had one and it would just heat up. Like I found that it would start cold, like when I was hot flashing during chemo, it
Right.
would be cold at first, and then I felt like it was even hotter, like the gel took the heat from my body and absorbed it and
Oh.
was even hotter. Yeah, it was awful.
If you tried one of the cooling pads for the bed?
No, I've heard about these though. I was listening to a health podcast about it, and they were saying that you can set it for different times. So,
Oh,
the
well, yeah, that
very
kind. We
fancy
had
one.
just a well, like the stuff that the cooling pillows made out of, but like a
Mm,
1-inch thing. When hers were really bad, yeah, she had a cooling pad on her side and
mhm.
the pillow and a
Interesting.
fan. So
Interesting. Yeah, no, this was like an electric thing that you plugged in and you set it for different times. So it was
yeah, I've
saying
seen those.
when you go to bed, you set it for lower and then you have it go a bit warmer upon wake up or something like that. And it's
Right.
supposed to help you have a much deeper sleep.
We almost
Ron's
bought
sleep slab
this
away.
thing that you put like at the foot of the bed, and it's sort of shaped like this, and it blows cold air up under the
Mm.
sheet.
And I see. I think I would hate that. I hate air
Yeah, I
blowing.
talked her out of it, but yeah, it just sounded, air blowing up into you all
Yeah.
night long.
Like
It's
before.
different if a fan's blowing on you, but
Oh, I hate that too.
blowing up,
Like before air conditioning, when I would just be hot at nighttime, I would have a fan facing me
right?
and I hate it. I hate it touching me. Like I couldn't have it oscillate because the feeling of it like passing me would drive me crazy. So it would
Oh,
have to
because
be
it's like a ghost.
constantly
It's
on
like a
me,
ghost touching you.
just like touching my hair on the way. Yeah, no, thank you.
I'm gonna send you ghost memes all day. Just saying that.
Oh, good. Do it. Yeah,
Oh,
Ron
Ron's
is
telling us
saying
to
that.
move on. He's already put the next graphic up.
Oh, okay. Bye, Ron. Sorry.
Bride 102 marries a groom 100. They may be the world's oldest living married couple.
Cute.
They dated for years without mentioning marriage, but an unexpected event led them to realize, I don't want to live without you, their family says. The 102-year-old bride held her new husband's hand. The groom 100 tenderly touched his head to hers. Marjorie Fitterman and Bernie Lippman got married on May 19th in Philadelphia, 9 years after they met at a party in their retirement community.
Okay, that is so cute.
It is. It was a very sweet story. They had their first date later that same day and have been together ever since.
So 9 years. I mean, even
9
dating
years.
in your 90s seems wild.
Right. With a combined age of 202, their families believe they are now the oldest living married couple and have contacted Guinness World Records to make it official.
Wow. I'm Googling this. I want to see them.
Oh, they're adorable. The pair
Okay,
had never
they're
talked about
cutest.
marriage until recently when Fitterman broke her leg from a fall, which seemed to shake Littman. His granddaughter says there was kind of that moment of I don't want to live without you, and so it was just why don't we get married sort of thing. Sarah Sigmund 39 told Today. It was kind of spur of the moment. At first, we thought this was a joke, but then they just continued to go through with it and took all the necessary steps. When her grandfather found out Allegheny County in Pennsylvania could issue a marriage license in the fastest time, he went that route and took care of the paperwork on his own, she adds. I imagine somebody had to drive him there or something.
Oh, I would think he probably doesn't have a
Yeah,
license.
they're both in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
The couple had to get new photo identification cards because both had expired licenses. They hadn't driven since before the pandemic, so that's 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay, so
When-
like 98 years old and you weren't driving or you're still
well,
driving.
they still had a driver's license, but yeah, we took my mother's 83. We took her car away 2 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So a family member took the young lady to the DMV to get her ID card. The crowd of 50 people waiting in line graciously let her go to the front of the line when they heard her story.
Adorable. I found
It
this
is an adorable story.
cute little.
Oh, there they are. Yes,
They're so cute.
they're very cute.
See, anyone
now-
can find love.
Right. It's never too late. Now they're going to live happily ever after.
Yeah, when people say I'm too old to get married, no, you're not. Are you 102? Then you're not too old.
That's right. Are you 102? Because that's
No.
when, what was her name?
Barbara Fitterman,
Marjorie.
Marjorie Fitterman.
Marjorie Fitterman. I guess she didn't take his last name. That's kind of odd.
Too much work.
Too much work to change everything.
That's why I didn't change my last name. Too much work.
Aw.
I've already done that once.
All right. Well, that brings our show to an end.
Yes, it does. We made it. Here
And
we were at
made it,
37
and-
minutes thinking, oh,
right.
shoot.
We are 15 seconds early. Well, make sure to come back on Thursday when Becky and Ron, or Rick the Shark is going to be
Yeah,
on.
me and Rick. Yeah,
That
we're
should be
going
a
to
lot
talk
of fun.
about mouth taping. So
Oh, you know what? You might try that on Rick if you can get him to close his mouth long enough to put the tape on. I love Rick. He's a blast. We'll start out on one thing, and then 12 stories later, we're not even on task anymore.
Well, look at us. We did that.
Well, we were filling. You got to fill time. It's called filling time.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Ron. She married a younger man. She's a cougar.
Oh, sweet Marjorie.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And Becky and Rick, we'll see you on Thursday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.